Welcome to the Visual Distortion movie review show with me, Jeccles69. On today's show we'll be reviewing the Oscar-nominated film The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Run to the Cathedral of Santa Maria in Brucknerplatz, buy one of the plain half-length candles and take back 4 klubecks in change. Light it in the sacristy, say a brief rosary, then go to Mendel's and get me a courtesan au chocolat. If there's any money left, give it to the crippled shoeshine boy. Hold it! Who are you?
I'm Zero, sir. The new lobby boy.
And so my life began. Junior lobby boy in training under the strict command of Monsieur Gustave H. I began to realize that many of the hotel's most valued and distinguished guests came for him.
I love you.
I love you. She was dynamite in the sack, by the way.
She was 84.
I've had older.
I became his pupil, and he was to be my counselor and guardian.
The police are here.
Tell them I'll be right down.
She's been murdered, and you think I did it.
This is Madame D's last will and testament. To Monsieur Gustave H. I bequeath a painting known as Boy with Apple.
It's a masterpiece. The rest of this shit is worthless junk.
This man is a ruthless adventurer and a con artist who preys on mentally feeble, sick old ladies. And he probably fucks them, too.
How's that supposed to make me feel?
Did you just throw my cat out the window?
You see, there are still faint glimmers of civilization left in this barbaric slaughterhouse that was once known as humanity. Whoa! Indeed, that's what we provide in our own modest, humble, insignificant... Oh, fuck it.
What's the meaning of this shit?
Boy with apple? I thought you did. Why are you only noticing now?
Are you fucking kidding me?
There are a lot of people in this film, so let us see if we can do this as quick as possible. Because in the Grand Budapest film, we have Ralph Fiennes as M. Gustav, F. Murray Abraham as Mr. Mustafa, Matthew Almaric as Sir Jex, Adrian Brody as Dimitri, Willem Dafoe as Jopling, Jeff Goldblum as Deputy Kovacs, Harvey Keitel as Ludwig, Jude Law as the young writer, Bill Murray as M. Ivan, Edward Norton as Henkels, Saoirse Ronan as Agatha, Jason Schwartzman as M. Jean, Leah Seydoux as Clotilda, Tilda Swinton as Madame D, Tom Wilkinson as the author, Owen Wilson as M. Chuck, Tony Revolori as Zero, Larry Pine as M. Moshe, Florine Lucas as Pinky, Carl Mokafix as Wolf, and Bob Balaban as M. Martin. This has to be one of the more bizarre films to be on the Oscar nomination list this year, 2015. It starts off with the old author recounting back to a time that he stayed in the Grand Budapest Hotel. And then we quickly go to Jude Law, who is the young version of the author, being within that time frame at the Grand Budapest Hotel, which is about the 60s or 70s, something like that, around the 70s somewhere. This is where the story starts going, and we find out how the Grand Budapest Hotel is in the 70s, where it's dilapidated, falling down. The money isn't coming in, people aren't going to that area. It's a bit of a rundown hotel with about 15 inhabitants in it, and the owner comes to stay. And the author, being an inquisitive soul, befriends the owner of the hotel, who then recaps to him in one meeting over dinner how he acquired the hotel, the Grand Budapest. And then we go back even further to the 1930s, just before the Second World War. So the film is in fact a flashback to a flashback, which is a bit weird. And to compensate and to show this, the director Wes Anderson, who has directed such great films as The Darjeeling Limited, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Moonrise Kingdom, among other films. And if you are familiar with any of these films, you will be familiar with the fact that his directing is creative, different, and definitely interesting. So when you go to the first flashback from the introduction of the film, the image remains the same. It's still in widescreen, you can still see all the details and everything's dilapidated down. And then when you go into the further time-lapse back into the 1930s, the film goes from widescreen down to small square screen, which is a bit weird at first, but you soon quickly forget about the big thick black lines either side of the screen and you concentrate on the movie itself. And yet again, as it is Wes Anderson, the directing is very... Indeed, it is very something. He sticks to the big, bright, bold colours of oranges, of browns, of greens, of purples, of yellows, of blues. He brings these colours forwards and picks colours for scenes. He makes big blocks of colours. If a scene is light-hearted, it'll be yellow, but if it's sarcastically light-hearted because it's drab, then it will all be grey. Certain ones will be shot in black and white to further show that this is a flashback within a flashback within the flashback itself. But all these things keep the movie going, keeps your mind knowing that you're in a certain time frame which is different to the one you started off in the first place, which is completely different to the one you're in now. Yeah. And the way the cameras move is very... the action's always happening, even though the film itself is primarily dialogue of a Shakespearean standards of modern English. The camera work makes it seem as if a lot of action's going on, when really they're just talking what is primarily a load of bollocks, and they say it themselves a lot as well. But the camera will just quickly pan and slide between where it needs to be, so it will go from one set to the other, to the other, to the other, whilst the actors have this huge set or this huge area in which to just keep acting, to be free, to improvise, which is something Wes Anderson does like. He doesn't mind them improvising, trying new things, putting things in there, but he has a very good control and a very good vision of what he wants the equipment and the cameras and the sets to look like. He knows the feel and the ambience that he wants to get from these movies, and he controls all of that and what they wear, the colours that these characters wear, because this depicts a certain mood or a certain way that he wants the audience to feel. But the actors themselves, they do have a very kind of free range with the dialogue to do with what they want. They have the certain markers and areas that they need to be in as the cameras move and so forth, but the dialogue they're free to play around with, they're free to get different emotions out of, they're free to see what could happen if they say the word in a different way, or if they try doing a different flux or a different pronunciation or pronouncing a different word in a sentence. They're free to do this to try and convey what's going on. If there's urgency in their voice. If it's boring, there's boringness in their voice, but the camera remains the same. The angles you get are very 90-degree head on or 90-degree on the right, left, or whatever. They're all very very mechanical, very kind of pop booky. As you go around a pop-up book that has clearly cost more than you would pay for a pop-up book because of the grandeur of the visual images being popped up towards you. This is what Wes Anderson had managed to do with this film, and it is because of this reason and his Shakespearean-esque dialogue that Ralph Fiennes definitely seems to find himself in an area of acting that he is definitely comfortable and happy with. He portrays his character as a very upright, good standing, well knowledged and learnt human being, while at the same time, and when needing to be a complete and utter bastard who just really couldn't give a crap, quite frankly, and the rest of human society can go lick its own arse while scrubbing the toilet out with its left hand, whilst its right hand picks its nose to the point where it's pulling out its own brains. That's how it comes across when Ralph Fiennes is delivering his dialogue, but like I say, it can be quite grand and majestic. And the kid that plays Zero, the bellhop, the bellboy, the lobby boy, he does it in a very stiff plank. Yes sir, no sir, of course sir. As you would expect a lobby boy to be. This is how he is portrayed. This is how a lot of the characters are portrayed. They're portrayed exactly how you'd expect them to be, but throughout. So when something is happening, they're still the lobby boy, they're still the English gentleman, they're still the thug. Things are getting heated, a fight might break out, and the lobby boy's still there, waiting to see what happens, and can he attend to anybody's concerns, and do they need this, and do they need that, and you know, this is their lives, this is who they are. The Grand Budapest Hotel is who these people, or the main characters, are. And when the war breaks out and they go to other locations, these locations are what these people or the characters are. And there are just too many characters to go into, but I can say that every single actor is amazing, and this film is just so good. It is a bizarrely strange and not at all whimsical movie. It is a movie you will go back to, especially when Edward Norton comes in. You're not expecting Edward Norton. I mean, I know he's in Moonrise Kingdom, also directed by Wes Anderson, and therefore you can understand why he's in the film, but he's in there as a German soldier, I think. Yeah, a German soldier or a policeman, and it's just a bit weird because he still has his American accent. They don't try and do any stupid foreign accent, which is good. It saves the film, especially with its pop-up book feel. And then you see Willem Dafoe in there, being this big, hard, quiet, tough man. Walks around, looks at everything. I'm coming for you. I'm gonna take you down. But I'll be quiet whilst I do it. Yeah, he's a bit like that. It's a bit, you know, he's the quiet kind of Vinnie Jones character, you know? And then you've got, just so many. Harvey Keitel is in there. The last thing I see him, or the thing I see him mainly on a daily basis doing, is the direct line adverts these days. So it was a bit, woo, he actually does still do some good films. It's great to see. I love Harvey Keitel, so seeing him in a movie again, brilliant. Especially after seeing him in those damn fucking adverts. And then you get the odd actor which Wes Anderson has worked with before, like Bill Murray. He's only in there briefly, but has worked with him before on The Life Aquatic. So Wes Anderson is definitely one of these directors that takes the people and actors he's worked with before, such as Owen Wilson, and works with them again, and just makes it all work. He is such, Wes Anderson's films, what he writes about, the stories he comes up with, the way he shows them, they're just so beautiful. And he's one of these directors where it's worth doing a paper on him just to get to know his films better and his styles better. And the movie itself, especially Ralph Fiennes, it seems like an odd curveball of a film for him to do, but when you watch it, you understand why he chose this film to do. And the magic that this film has behind it. It is a 5 out of 5 film, and I hope it wins the Oscars that it has been nominated for. Thank you very much for watching the Visual Distortion movie review show with me, Jeccles69, reviewing the Oscar-nominated movie, The Grand Budapest Hotel. Remember to check out the rest of my channel for some more interesting shit. Until next time, take care and keep on smiling. This is the Jeccles69 channel where interesting shit happens every day. So remember to subscribe and comment to our channel for interesting shit to do with the world of technology. Hits on Twitter, film reviews, my life with Android and Kickstarter. Thanks for watching and remember to subscribe and comment, and until next time, keep your shit interesting.